Hello, everybody. Welcome in to this very special D&D episode with none other than Hikaru Kami.
Hi!
Let me know if I need to rebalance the sound at all. I probably won't need to because it's Hikaru. Hikaru can carry some fucking sound.
What was that? I couldn't hear.
Oh my god. Yeah, let me make you a little bit bigger now. So we are going to be finding out about Hikaru's new character, and introducing them to this world.
I'm excited.
On a scale
I'm
from
nervous.
1 to 10, how scared are you, Hikaru? Because you started screaming as soon as you saw the title.
So I was at like a 9 for scared, and then when I saw the title, I dropped to like a 7 because then like my brain locked in, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Even I got like the excitement and the scared swapped scales. All of a
Okay.
sudden I was hype, and the scared tamed down a little bit, but I'm still at a 7 out of 10. I'm still nervous as hell.
All right. I'm excited. I've been plotting. I've been plotting. I am
excited.
very excited. This will be a little bit because we're introducing a new character. And it's a solo session. This will be a little bit more of a narrative situation. It will
That's what I thrive in.
give us a little bit enough of this new character. I'm trying to be very specific about not spoiling anything. Enough about this new character that we should feel like we know them by the time we get to where they meet the Crash Outs and are kind of introduced with the party. Any last words before we get started, Hikaru?
I am hyped, and that is all.
Okay. All right. So, let's get started. You remember running blindly, a hunt gone wrong, and the flash of fangs in the dark that you saw just a second too late. The blinding, searing pain of flesh being torn from your side, the wet, hot blood pouring down behind you as you ran. You'd moved on instinct, not thinking as you went. Instead, you trusted your movements to the adrenaline as you burst through the massive, dark oak double doors in a flash of red, your trench coat billowing out behind you. The smell of dust and mold filled your nose, burned as you breathed heavy. Before you could give it much thought, you swished yourself into a dark corner between pieces of furniture that would block you from view. Curling your limbs around yourself, around your wound, you pass out. You wake up an unknown amount of time later, eyes adjusting despite the pounding headache and the pain that settles deep in your bones. The desolate halls of House Grey stare back at you. Familiar, yet strange all the same.
That hurts. I'm going to try to sit up.
Okay.
You said that I woke up in a bed?
No, you were kind of crammed.
I'm crammed in that alley thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to push myself, sort of like using nearby furniture to kind of try to push myself back to my feet.
Mm-hmm.
And like tug up my shirt to check the wound in my side.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You managed to do so pretty easily. You're pretty attuned to dealing with your own wounds and kind of, you know, your own body well enough that you can tell when something is wrong, and this is definitely something that is going to need some intervention on your part. It's still oozing. It's kind of started to coagulate, but with the size of the rip in your side, it is not going to keep itself together on its own.
Is there blood on the floor?
There is blood on the floor.
Damn it. Shit. I'm not gonna hear the end of that. More worried about the blood on the floor than the wound in my side. I'm gonna try to, like, ineffectually use my foot to kind of, like, scrape at what I can and kind of, like, as if I can hide it.
Okay.
And then just give up and stumble out of the cramped corridor thing that I was in
Okay.
to go look for somewhere I might know there to be bandages of some sort.
All right. So you manage to kind of pull yourself out of this little, like, slot in between two big pieces of oak furniture that you lodged yourself into to kind of obscure yourself, almost again on instinct, at being so injured. And you realize that you're standing in the middle of the kind of grand entrance of House Grey. And the floor, yes, is now got a puddle of your drying blood on it, but it's dirty. It's all, the marble is all scuffed and worn, and there's what could be burn marks or drag marks across the floor. Those two large shining knights that you had been so used to kind of flanking the big banister are dull.
Well, I suppose we've all had our rough days, huh? And I start to hobble my way towards these stairs, kind of gripping my side as I run a hand through my tails to double check
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that they are at least in as good a condition as I can.
All of
yeah.
your tails are in decent condition. You're pretty sure one of them's a little broken from where you landed on it. But do you want me to switch the token
Yep.
over? All right. Yeah, you're pretty sure that one of them. You're pretty sure one of them's broken from where you had landed on it, but for the most part, they're okay. They seem to have escaped any claws or fangs that you might have encountered on this hunt gone wrong.
Okay, it's fine. I'll just. Oh, I've been through worse. And I stagger my way up the stairs.
Okay. All right, going up.
Yes, I'm gonna work my way going up.
Right. Let me go ahead and you are actually going to jump up to here because this is a 2-story map.
That's super cool.
All right. So you stagger your way up the stairs. Let me just make sure. Okay, cool. That's in line. You stagger your way up the stairs, and the air up here it feels musty. Everything seems like it hasn't seen use in a really long time. You're noticing kind of cobwebs drifting from the ceilings. There's a little bit of mold that just kind of burns your nose a little bit as you're walking up the stairs. It smells a little mildewy, almost.
I think at this point it would start to finally kind of sink in that like this isn't how it should be. Like more delirious from my wounds. Like it took me a while for it to sink in, but I think like I'm starting to look around and get a little uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
and just start calling out for like maybe a head maid
Okay.
or someone that I might be familiar with.
All right. Go ahead.
Uh, i- is that a name that you want to,
You
or
can
just
you can
me?
give me a name. That's fine.
Eleanor, are you here? This, oh, shit.
Nothing answers you. The halls of House Grey are eerily quiet. Although you do begin to hear the house kind of start to settle. The weight of the amount of history contained in there and the old wood just kind of heavy as it sinks.
Fuck. All right. I need to find. Oh, what do I need to find? I need to find where they keep the linens. I can make a bandage of that until I can find something more proper. Okay, linen closet. Check there. And I'm gonna lean into the banister and kind of drag myself up the stairs towards a linen closet.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check. You're pretty sure you remember where it is, but in your disoriented state.
Yeah, that's a 6.
A 6?
No, 7.
A 7. Okay, yeah, you are disoriented. You're kind of dragging yourself along the banister, leaving just this like trail of wet blood along the marble as you kind of get you manage to make it up the stairs okay, but it is getting to be really difficult and the blood loss is making you a bit dizzy. You stumble into one of the kind of against one of the maid's corridors, knowing that there is a door there that should have like a secret door that has like linens tucked in it, but you're kind of banging around on the wall to try and find it. You can't quite parse out where it might be. And as you're looking for it, you do hear the creak of something further in the house.
Eleanor, damn it! Fucking God. No, I don't. If Mother's here, quiet. Oh, I can find it. I don't need Eleanor. And I just, I guess, keep trying to run my hands along the wall, trying to find it, hoping I can find it before my mother or someone other than the maids finds me.
Mm-hmm. You run your hand along the wall, and eventually you feel something kind of give just a little bit and pop open, and the linen closet reveals itself, and you are hit with this wave of just must. The like mothball eaten scent of linens just kind of wafts over you, and everything looks relatively clean, but it's definitely not sitting right.
What the fuck is going on? Okay. I can worry about that later. I want to pull free a one of my arrows
Okay.
and use it to kind of like the tip of it to kind of strip the closest like sheet or something I can into strips enough for me to like wrap my my wound.
Okay. All right. You're able to do this pretty easily. Everything tears relatively easily. Your arrows, you keep them very sharp, so this is not too much of an issue for you.
Son of a... Okay. Oh fuck! Cheers. Okay, I kind of tighten it off just to make sure that like there's no blood leakage,
Mm-hmm.
and then taking a moment to just wipe the sweat from my brow, I'm gonna pull my shirt back down and start to really. Can I get a perception check on my surroundings as I start to really take in
Mm-hmm.
the manor as a whole?
Go for it.
That is a 20 dirty.
A 20 dirty. Okay. Starting off strong, recovering from that 7.
Yeah.
All right. As previously mentioned, the manor seems almost entirely empty and almost completely in disrepair. It has very clearly been abandoned for a long time. You do hear, amidst the kind of settling sounds of the wood in the night, you do hear something moving around somewhere further in the house. Just the very quiet tap of something on the floorboards.
I grit my teeth and I kind of close my eyes for a moment as I kind of take stock of myself, stock of like the situation I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go ahead and pull my bow from like over my shoulder
Mm-hmm.
and knock an arrow, but not pull it because I don't want to strain the wound, but just like so
Mhm.
that way
So it's
I
ready.
at least appear intimidating if nothing else.
Okay.
And I want to sort of head towards whatever sounds.
Okay. As you do this, your wound kind of jolts a little bit, and you do feel a little bit of more blood leaking out. You are currently at 10 HP.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to draw the bow. I'm definitely just using it for intimidation.
Mhm.
And I'm going to start to make my way up the stairs towards my bedroom, where I would know where I would keep probably more survival supplies.
Okay.
Right.
So you make it up the again, you're kind of at the top of the stairs on like a little bit of a landing that kind of overlooks the rest of that grand foyer. And as you start to move towards your bedroom to the left here, let me uncover some things for you here. As you start to move in that direction, something kind of tingles the back of your spine. This unsettling feeling of something perhaps watching you. And as you look kind of down the grand foyer, you do see a jagged hand of a rather large size kind of drag its way across the window pane from the outside. Whatever you were hunting is now hunting you.
Okay. Take stock, Kaya. We need to tend to the wound. We need to make sure to fortify as best we can. Take up defensive positions. We can raid Mother and Father's room. Clearly they haven't been here. And there's enough left here that perhaps they left a healing potion or something. And maybe the enchantments have kept it from spoiling. We can look there after we have attended to our wounds. Okay. Your bedroom, survival supplies, stitch the wound, move, go. And I, with a firm plan in mind, begin to head down the hall towards my bedroom.
Okay. All right. You're experienced. I'm not gonna give you any hints. I'm not gonna help you.
I think that Kaya is very locked in.
Mhm.
I don't think she's exploring anything else. She has a plan that she is set on, and she wants to head for it.
Okay.
Without if I will, however, if I do make it to the bedroom door, I want to roll a perception to try to listen before I enter any room.
All right. Okay. So you do make it to your bedroom. You can follow the little corridor I revealed for you.
Gotcha.
You do make it to your bedroom door, and it is mostly closed. It seems to have the hinges have almost busted off a little bit. It's kind of hanging just the slightest bit ajar at the moment.
Yeah, then I'm definitely gonna sidle the wall
Okay.
and both listen and maybe, yeah, I'm gonna use my nose and my ears as my primary senses here as a kitsune,
Okay.
and I'm gonna yeah, I'll do a
Are you
perception check.
stealthing, or are you just kind of plastering yourself to the wall?
If I've noticed that the door is broken, I would like to do a stealth check. Yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me a stealth check and a perception then.
Okay, stealth is what is? Do I assume I have levels in stealth? Wow, I have a lot of levels in stealth. That's a 26 on my stealth,
Holy shit! Okay.
and then perception is not as impressive. That's a 14.
Okay. You do hear sounds of something moving in your room. You can't quite discern whether or not it is the scratch of a branch on a window pane, or if it's the sound of something dragging across the floor. You do, however, you're used to this. This is the exact route that you used to take when you were sneaking in and out of the house growing up, when you were learning to ply your trade. And so you're very used to this route. You're very used to which corners obscure your view, or their view, anyone's view of you, what dark areas you can kind of hide in as you creep about, where even the bits of floorboard that were just a little squeaky, that never quite lived up to your mother's standards were, and you basically just meld into the shadows.
If I hear any sounds from the bedroom, especially after having seen the hand, bedroom's immediately abandoned as a direction
Okay.
I'm headed.
Okay.
I have deemed it not worth of a risk, and I'm going to instead bank on my original thoughts of mother and father might have left something that I can use, whether it be a healing potion or just any supplies whatsoever.
Okay.
And I'm going to head for their bedroom instead.
All right, let me unlock that corridor for you. It is on the opposite side. You remember very specifically that the easiest way to get to your mother and father's bedroom from here, without alerting suspicion, is to cut through your mother's office.
Okay. 10-4.
All right. 10
Then
4. So you're gonna go across the little corridor just on the other side. Yeah, there you go.
right here?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
All right, so you are confronted with two doors. One door, opens up to your mother's office. And the other door, is like a smaller servant's quarters that was built mostly to accommodate for your mother when she had late nights working.
Interesting. Okay, hold on. I want to. Can I do a perception check at both doors?
Yes.
Okay.
2 separate perception checks.
At mother's door is a 27.
27, okay.
At the other door is a 29.
Ooh, okay, both of them solid. All right. You don't hear any movement coming from within either one of these doors. You do, however, from kind of further towards the grand foyer that you're just kind of at the very edge of right now where you are, you do hear a knock on the door, and it is a heavy knock, followed by the sounds of claws dragging through the wood.
That'd be from the direction of my bedroom.
That would be from where you came in at.
Oh,
So where you saw the hand on the window pane?
gotcha. I don't have time then. Okay, but then we'd be wasting time. What is the best course of action in this situation? We raid mother's bedroom in hopes that there's a healing potion. If there's not, then we wasted time that I could have seen to my wounds. If there is, however, and I wasted time stitching myself together. Fuck. Think, Kaya, think. Okay, breathe. What would you do? In the wild, what would you do? I enter the servants' quarters.
Okay. All right. The servants' quarters is very similar to the rest of the house that you've seen so far, and it is in disrepair. It hasn't seen any kind of a cleaning in a very long time. You see multiple of the beds that had been laid out for the servants for this particular area where they would need to stay later nights to tend to anything your mother might need as she was working. There are some bookcases that are kind of falling apart, admittedly, some that have dumped their books on the floor entirely, and the door to your mother's office.
I want to search the servants' quarters for a needle and thread.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception.
25.
25. You do find a small sewing kit tucked underneath one of the pillows.
Okay. I'm going to take that with me
Okay.
and then enter my mother's office from this door here.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let me obscure that for you. Alright, so your mother's office is almost exactly as you remember it. There is a rather grand looking bed that is kind of tucked away in one of the corners, surrounded by, what are those called? Like paper screen paneling to just kind of like obscure it for if she was here late nights. The grand rug that you remember being so expensive that she wouldn't let you play on when you were growing up is dirty and torn. Her desk stands still as imposing as it was when you were growing up, but there is a pile of books kind of scattered about around it.
I unintentionally hesitate before stepping in. Just an ingrained habit, as if waiting for permission. Before I shake my head and I step inside the room. Still clutching my side a little bit. I run through like a mental checklist and I'm like, okay. Search this room for any sorts of healing ointments. Then we go to the bedroom, search there, and we move on. And I go to take a step towards her desk, and again, there's hesitation in my movements, is like there's almost, in Kaya's eyes, a sacrilege of touching Mother's desk. Kind of a struggle before I remember the sounds, and I kind of silently berate myself as I push forward towards her desk. And I'd like to start rifling through the room to try to find any sort of healing ointments.
Okay. What would you say your mind state is in right now? Like, are you feeling frantic? Are you trying to keep yourself calm?
I think gritting through the pain, so a little distracted, but I have set a goal and therefore I will achieve said goal.
Okay. All right. Bearing that in mind, sorry, I just saw Shoot's chat. Bearing that in mind, you have a D4 inspiration dice to use.
Okay.
If whenever you so choose.
Whenever I choose.
Whenever you choose, but it's only one use.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
All right. As you were rifling through, you do remember vaguely that your mother used to keep some kind of alchemical compounds and stuff that you had painstakingly kind of drilled into your head growing up in her desk. So you start pulling out these heavy drawers, and each one opens with a hefty thunk as it hits the limit of it, and most of them are filled with papers, documentation. You do, however, find one drawer that is locked.
Can I roll a thievery to see if I can make use of the utensils on the desk to pick the lock?
Yes.
That is an 18 on thievery.
Yes, you can. You are proficient enough to do it.
I would like to do that then.
All right, so you take a moment to kind of pick the lock, something that you are relatively used to doing, and it almost brings you just a little bit of comfort of normalcy in this situation. And as the lock pops open, you hear the doors creak open somewhere in the manor.
Oh. Fuck. Okay. Stay focused, Kaya. It's just a hunt. You are the injured prey. Think. Backed in a corner, everyone knows when prey is backed in a corner is at its most dangerous. We are thinking, we are adapting, we are smarter than this creature. We move. And I'll pull open the drawer.
Okay. In the drawer are 3 items. The first you recognize as a health potion. And it kind of glows a little bit as the red liquid kind of swirls inside of this little jar. The second is a leather-bound journal. And the third is a key.
I grab the key and slip that into whatever pouch. And then I want to take the potion, pop the cork, and give it a sniff just to see if there's been like any spoilage or anything. Having maybe more. This is a difficult one because I'm trying to think, like, obviously I've been rich enough to have dealt with health potions a lot in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I have an understanding of the wilderness, so I understand an herbalness.
Mm-hmm.
But do I understand when a health potion has spoiled or not? I don't know that I would say that I do. So I'm gonna leave that to you on whether and what role to make.
Okay. Um, I will say you don't have enough knowledge to tell whether or not it's spoiled, but one thing that you know very well is your mother's uh fastidiousness and how
Mm,
uh driven she was to make sure that everything that she did was perfect. So,
okay. With that, I will take the potion.
all right, you take the potion and you heal full health.
Fuck. Oh, thank God. Oh, fuck. Okay. I'm gonna lean on the desk for a moment and just take a few deep breaths as I kind of close my eyes and recenter my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And then my eyes will slowly open. And I'd like. I can feel a little bit of liquid kind of pool up underneath the eye patch on my right eye.
Okay.
And I'll reach under and wipe away the droplet of blood from the old injury where that eye was ruined. But the act kind of centers me as I remember the hunts that I've been through, the positions that I've been in, and who exactly I am.
Mm-hmm.
This is my house. I am the hunter. And I will not be a mouse. And I want to head into my mother's bedroom through because the office was the
Mm-hmm.
direct way, right? I'd like to head in there and kind of get a gauge through the windows if I can see anything else outside or if it's guaranteed that it's inside as I start to take stock of my situation.
Okay. As you start to move, that journal that was sitting inside with the health potion and the key almost draws your attention back to it as there is another thump somewhere in the house.
Okay. If it drags my attention a little bit, I will definitely grab it
Okay.
and slide it into a bag.
Okay.
As I hold on. There a chair nearby?
There is a chair nearby.
I'd like to take the chair and prop it underneath the door handle directly into the office
Okay.
from the hallway.
Okay.
And then I would like to. There's no lights or anything, or is.
There is some light filtering in from the moonlight.
What time of day is it?
It is
Oh, it's moonlight?
nighttime.
Okay. Mm.
And you do see there are a few candles that have kind of been left. Their wicks look relatively intact, so you could light one.
Okay. Is there another way to get to Mother's bedroom other than the office?
Yes, there is the main way, The route that you are currently taking would involve servant hallways, so you are less likely to be ambushed unless someone
Got it.
knows the route.
Then I'd like to snatch up the candles
Okay.
and take them with me as I enter Mother's bedroom
All
after
right.
propping closed this specific door.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Let me illuminate this hallway for you. Alright. So you cut back through the servants' hallway, which is like I can probably drag you over. Yes, I can. Ha ha ha. You cut back through the servant hallways to kind of get to your mother's bedroom. This hallway runs parallel to the main hallway at the top of the grand entryway. And as you are moving through, I'm going to go ahead and say that you're still moving pretty stealthily. You're on alert, so I'm not going to make you roll stealth for that since you rolled so high already.
Gotcha.
But you are doing your best to keep low to the ground, stay as quiet as possible, and not draw any attention, knowing that something is either in the house or waiting for you to exit the house. And as you are moving through, you do hear heavy footsteps coming up that staircase.
Okay. What is the goal? What is the goal? What is the goal? What is the goal? Now, from this bedroom, where are the other exits?
So you know that there is a connecting secret door between your room and your parents' bedroom. There is a secondary servant's quarters that is attached to your parents' bedroom, and then there is the main exit.
These pretentious fucks. All right, I want to strike. If I can use maybe like metal or like my arrowheads and something to strike enough spark to light these candles.
You're able to do
And
so
I'd
pretty
like-
easily.
I'd like to set them at like 3/4 intervals down this servants' quarters hallway.
Okay.
So that way it's like 3/4 towards me, 3/4 towards the other end. So I can kind of get a constant light source down this servants' quarters hallway that I just came from. In case anything is coming down that, I have a straight shot on them.
Okay.
And then I want to do perception check at both the secret entrance to my room and the servants' quarters, just to double check that I am only dealing with one foe.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll those.
Servants' quarters is a 20 dirty,
Okay.
and mine is a 16.
Okay. Servants' quarters is almost entirely silent. You do hear a little bit of the house settling in there, but you can very easily discern that as a creaky floorboard as opposed to something moving. Your bedroom, however, you do still hear that kind of scratching sound that you're still not quite able to identify it.
2 enemies. Two possible enemies, I suppose I should say. One capable of injuring me to a significant degree. One unknown, possible ally, possible foe. How do we set this up? We lure one foe to to another, set them upon themselves, and relocate to an advantageous position. Are there chairs or anything of the sort in here?
Yeah, there is a variety of heavy, expensive furniture in here.
What
Your parents spared
furniture-
no expense.
Furniture I'm able to easily, even if I guess not necessarily easily, but quietly relocate towards near the secret entrance to my bedroom. That like is I don't assume I can push a bed quietly.
No.
Are there like a few things that I can move that like I'd be prepared to blockade?
There is a few expensive looking armchairs. There is your mother's vanity. There are a couple of nightstands. And there is a like oak chest. I will say, however, you have vivid memories of most of these things when they were purchased and brought into the home. And you do know that all of them are made of heavy wood. Heavy,
Okay.
high-quality wood.
I would like to move 2 chairs over near the secret entrance door.
Okay, give me a strength check first.
This is a lot sketchier than all the other rolls I've done.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, what's my strength? Oh, it's a +0.
Good
That would be
luck.
a 14.
14. You go to lift it, and you are able to lift it, but you're not so sure that you'll be able to move it quietly.
Are there any already close to the door? The secret door?
No.
Anything that I can use to blockade that is close to it?
Not really. The door itself is again very similar to the entrance to the servant hallway or the linen closet, where it's kind of a pop door that's built into the wall. So it's unobstructed.
Okay. I would like to silently... I'm going to set this back down silently. And then pop this door as quiet as I can to glance in.
Okay, give me another stealth check.
Let me check my stealth again. That is a 23.
23. Okay, you are able to open the pop door quietly. Whatever is possibly in there does not seem to have any idea that you are there or that door exists. That being said, as your room comes into view, you do see a creature that looks just a bit... Please, let me, thank you. Hopefully you can see it. It's vaguely humanoid looking.
Creature is invisible to me.
It is invisible to you. Okay, let me... Please, I would like to make you visible. Please, I don't want to have to add another... I'll just put another one in. It's not that big of a deal. Things happen, you know? Things happen.
Absolutely.
But you do see a vaguely humanoid-shaped creature. Its
Got it.
skin is gray. And it is... Why is it still not visible to you? I don't know why it's doing that. Please, I would like for you to be visible. Please. Oh well, that's fine. It's fine. It is like... I'll put it here. Can I ping this? I can ping it. Ah. Alright, it's right there. Just so you know. So, 2 squares in front of
Okay.
you. Again, not sure why it's not visible. I even deleted it and added a new one. Don't know.
Interesting.
That being said, there's the scuff. Leave me alone, Schubert. It is vaguely humanoid shaped. You can kind of see it, it's skulking a little bit as it moves. It moves in this unnatural kind of all fours movement, but its limbs are just a bit too long and its nails are dragging along the floor, making that sound that you heard.
Okay. Is there anything loose that I can see within reach, be it a candle, a labra, or something that I could theoretically, the gist that I'm seeing in my head, right, is I have this pop door. I set it against the pop door before I shut the door, so when the door shuts, it falls over and makes a noise. So the door is shut by the time the monster is alerted. Is there anything I can do that with?
Yes, but you would have to creep into the room a little bit to get to it. There are
Nothing from this room.
From the room that you're in.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a couple of candelabras, and then there are, of course, your mother's jewelry box, and assorted little kind of ornamental bits and bobs that would make quite the shattering noise should they fall.
I would like to use one of those.
Okay. All right. You pick up a golden porcelain egg. All right. Let's see you enact this plan.
Okay, I want to set it up against this pop door. And then firmly, but not like slam, but like firmly push it closed.
Okay.
In hopes that the thing will fall and break.
Okay. Hold on. Let me grab a dice. Please, I need a d6. That's not a d6. Nor is that. Life is hard. I have like 18 d6s. Why can I not find any of them? Aha! Here we go.
I need more die.
All right.
I only have 2 sets.
So you do manage to set it up, and you do manage to close the door with just enough force to push the egg over and cause it to shatter. But
okay,
you don't hear anything at first. You hear the shatter, you hear the pacing stop, and then it's quiet.
I will slowly slink back to the entranceway to the servants' court, or like hallway. So I can keep an eye on that pop door while also glancing back the way I came in case I need an exit.
Okay, as you do that, you do hear something come thundering down the main entrance hallway, that like grand hallway that overlooks the entrance, and go bursting into your room. And you hear growls and snarls and the sound of tearing flesh before cracking wood, and the floor gives out. And we're gonna pause there because we're about to go to an ad break.
Woo!
How you feeling?
I am feeling good. I I wasn't sure I could pull it off. But I definitely knew that I needed to set my opponents against each other. If there was something already in this building,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was something that hunted me to this building, then they clearly aren't on the same side.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed to remove one obstacle at the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how fast the obstacle was removed is a little unsettling.
Yeah.
The plans of I am not prey went out the fucking window, and it's now like, yeah, you know, maybe sometimes strategic retreat is the option.
Mm-hmm.
So we're definitely gonna figure that out from here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm here for it. I am very much enjoying the way in which you're approaching all of this.
Yes. I can't even do it, Hermes. I can't even do the thing because the people who can hear me currently aren't the people who need the shill.
It's fine. You can chill after.
I'll shill later, but yeah, no, there is a level of enjoyment in discovering the interactions that Kaya has in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Discovering a new flavor that hasn't been explored, that is very interesting to see, because I don't know moment to moment what this Kaya is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very enjoyable to be going through my childhood home in this, like, even though it's not like the right term, the term sits in my brain is like this dystopian version.
Mm-hmm.
Even I know that's not the right word to describe it, but like my brain likes the word.
Mm-hmm.
But
This
there's
version
desolate.
that's clearly like been through it, and it's not
Yeah.
in the way that you remembered it.
Exactly. I really like it. It's this corruption of something that was in a lot of ways corrupted already
Mm-hmm.
in Kaya's mind. This is not a happy place.
Mm-hmm.
And so to take this unhappy place and make it dangerous has an interesting effect on Kaya,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like almost calming in a way, because it's like, no, it is just fucked up now. Like, I don't have to pretend it's not.
Mm-hmm.
This is a place I've always been uncomfortable in, and now it is a valid thing to feel discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. I'm liking the interaction.
Yeah, I think from a narrative perspective too, it's been very interesting because as I was prepping this, I was thinking about like what are the elements of how do we show, what was House Grey before all of this happened, and you see it in the little touches of like at one point where you were like, these pretentious fuckers, like
Yeah. It was
the golden
servants'
egg.
quarters. The servants' quarters attached to my mom's office has a servants' passage to the servants' quarters attached to my mom's bedroom. Was like the wildest. It was just so very pretentious. I loved every second of it.
Awesome. All right, we are back from the ads. I do want to do a quick audio check from everybody. If you guys can hear Karu okay when he is doing the more like subtle whispers of like Kaya thinking through things and everything. Just want to make sure that everybody can hear him because he's doing some very fun stuff with that.
Yeah, it would be a shame if the stream was missing out on my favorite parts.
I was gonna say, I feel like if I can hear it, then they can probably hear it.
That's fair.
Okay, cool. They can hear everything. Perfect.
There you go.
Perfect. Awesome. Yes, please drink. Please drink.
Yes, because that's water.
That's totally water.
Water!
The shame and drama is loud and clear. Damn. Okay.
The shame and trauma.
Yeah.
Damn. That's rude.
All right. So, yeah. So you hear, like I said, the sounds of kind of growling and snarling and flesh tearing before the floor just gives out, in your bedroom.
Mm. Okay. Which is really unfortunate because that means it's back downstairs. Which means I don't have a fucking path of retreat. Okay. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We look at it. Okay, Kaya. Think. 2 stories. If this was the woods, you have the trees, tops. You have the creatures down below. Creatures down below are searching. They're fighting. There's blood drawn, which means there might be a feast. Blood drawn is a distraction. Predatory, defensive of prey means sounds will alert. Think. I need to give it time to settle into its feast or decide that it is not hungry. In which case, I need to stay close so I can hear which choice it makes. I will search my mother's bedroom while I listen to see if it begins to feast upon the other creature or if it heads back into the house.
Okay. What are you searching for?
I think I just kind of want to poke around and see if there's anything that stands out. I'm not really giving it a deep search.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more just like keeping busy while I'm listening.
Okay. You're kind of looking around and everything seems to be almost exactly as you remember it, with the exception, of course, of this, like, dust and mold that has kind of settled into the room in its disuse. You do notice that the pop door to the servants' quarters attached to your mother's bedroom is not fully functional. It's kind of hanging open in a similar way that your bedroom door was, where it's just not fully closing for whatever reason.
Okay.
But everything else seems to be pretty much the same as you remembered it.
I'd like to check wardrobe and jewelry.
Okay.
To see if this place was abandoned or left.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you open the wardrobe and you're again hit with this kind of like must of clothes that have been left sitting for a very long time. You do note that your mother's favorite pieces are missing, but the vast majority of these opulent dresses and, you know, very tailored suits that she had so much pride in are here. moving over to her vanity, you see that even in her jewelry box, a lot of the pieces that you remember that drew the most attention at balls and other big events that she would attend are still there. And you go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. 28.
28.
No, sorry. Nope. 21.
21.
I mixed up sneak and perception for
No.
a second. I was like, wait, no, I don't have that kind of perception.
Wait a
Let me
minute.
rerun that.
You, as you're kind of rifling through quietly, of course, you do find a brooch that has the seal of House Grey on it. And you distinctly remember this is the biggest kind of family heirloom that your mother would bring out when you were little to kind of show you and teach you a little bit about the history of House Grey and how it became House Grey. And it is here. The gems in it are a little flawed. They could use a little cleaning. The gold and silver inlets are tarnished.
A swallow. A little shaken. Not really sure how to digest the connecting pieces here. Like, strangely enough, I'm more comfortable with the idea of being hunted than I am with the idea of my mother having been forced out of her place of power. To have abandoned anything strikes me as almost unnatural and disconcerting in a way that nothing of this situation truly could possibly hope to impact me with. And I'll take that brooch gently, kind of run a thumb over it, before I think there is no before. There is simply a holding, a staring. I'm still listening for the sounds of this creature in the other room to see kind of what it's doing, but I've kind of stalled out on any actions of my own. A uncertainty kind of settling in as fixtures of my reality that I was raised in, that no matter what I did, there were factoids that one had to deal with. No matter what, you didn't go against House Grey's interests. No matter what, Mother never lost. And here I hold a symbol of what is an implied defeat. And it shakes maybe a foundation of my very being. The hunter in me still is listening, but I have stalled out on future plans at this moment.
the weight of this discovery kind of settles over you, and it almost mimics the weight of this house and how it sounded like it was kind of repeatedly trying to settle as you have been adventuring through it. And you know, you do hear what sounds like continued sounds of a scuffle, muffled through the pop door and the fact that they have gone through the floor in the room beside you. But you also begin to hear the sound of stone cracking, like the foundation itself is beginning to crumble under the weight of the loss.
I think silently I begin to understand that this era, that this house isn't House Gray anymore. That in many ways, perhaps this is a scar. These creatures taking residence or hunting me here and destroying the very building as it crumbles around us. It's a false memory. And I head back into the servants' hallway
Mm-hmm.
and pick up one of the candles
Okay.
and head back into Mother's room
Mm-hmm.
and just lay it down on the bed before walking down the hallway away from the bedroom.
Are you lighting it on fire?
I'm lighting it on fire.
Oh, hell yeah!
I'm burning the house down.
Okay. All right. The flames catch rather quickly. And you know, the whole room begins to hum a light around you, and the crackling of the fire as it begins to kind of swallow this room that you used to be afraid of entering, of being called into, of being judged in, is consumed by the very thing that created it. All right, so you're back in the servants' hallway. Where do you want to go?
I don't know if this is dumb or not. I want to walk out through here,
Okay.
and unless I specifically see or hear something, I'm gonna walk out the front door.
Out the front. Okay.
I'm walking down the stairs straight towards the front door.
Okay, so you are descending. I'm gonna move you back down here. Let me grab you. Please. Life is hard. Life is hard when you are scuffed. Please. Aha! Just gonna move you very slowly. Okay, so you are on the stairs, kind of headed down, and as you kind of begin to descend, you hear the fire crackling above you and behind you. You hear a howl echo through these otherwise empty halls, almost rattling the entire foundation of what's left. as something seems to be victorious in its fight.
I would like I'd like to stride out the front door, 10 foot, turn around, and post up, staring at that front door with the arrow on my bow.
Okay. So as you start to move towards the front door and that howl echoes throughout, that key that you picked up almost seems to react to it, to react to the very essence of House Grey kind of beginning to crumble and be in threat of dying here. And it warms in the pouch that you have on.
I'll pull the key,
Okay.
walk out the front door, turn around, and if it works, lock the door with the key behind me.
Okay. All right. So you walk out the front door, and you see, as you are kind of passing through this last little bit before you enter the door, you see from one of the side corridors, you see the thing that was hunting you begin to emerge, and it moves one massive paw, hand amalgamation at a time, its haunches kind of stalking into view, and you see this very lupine muzzle come into view as it snarls at you, and it is massive. Its gleaming red eyes staring right at you.
I bare fangs and growl right back at it as I keep on my way.
It starts running for you. Let's see. Give me a dexterity check.
Don't mind if I do. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, you make it out of the door just as this creature, this werewolf, comes slamming into the doors that you have just closed. And as you turn the key, something happens. This light envelops you, and you recognize it very briefly. It feels very, very familiar as it washes over you. There's this iciness that you always associated with House Grey that kind of falls over you. And you are now no longer standing outside of House Grey. Let me see if I can move this specific ribbon. Hold on. How did I do this earlier? How did I do this earlier? Yes. Can I just move? No, that's the party ribbon. That's not the ribbon I want to move. I want to move the Kaya ribbon. Fuck, how did I do this? How did I do this previously? Yes. May is a dum-dum that is doing her best.
6-inch ribbon curls. 6 inches, that's impossible. 6 inches. The random quotes from Elf is wild.
What is happening here?
My family quotes random movies a lot. Elf being one of them. Finding Nemo being another one. Yes, I'm a natural blue.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do this the dirty way. I am gonna go back over to here. Hold, please. Hold, please.
Shoo, the fact I recognized it.
Schubert. I wouldn't put it past Schubert to know these things, honestly. No, I don't want to add a page. Where's my... I appreciate the fact that y'all can't see what the fuck I'm doing right now. This is good. This is like...
I mean, I can sort of see now that I tabbed over to read chat. I missed 2 rooms! No!
You missed a lot of rooms.
I did. But it didn't make sense for Wounded Kaya to explore the house.
No, it didn't make sense. Alright, let me make this big.
Big?
Big. Please become large.
I shall look away then, so I don't get spoiled on anything.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Everybody that is currently watching me do this, mind your business. Listen, I do what I can here. I do what I can. Life is unbearably difficult sometimes, and sometimes you just gotta bullshit it. Okay. Okay. Let me reveal a little area for you. Bam. Okay. This is our business. Yeah, this is mind your business. Alright. Alright. You should be... Ooh. Oh, I wonder if that's why. Okay. Okay. I have revealed a portion to you. You should be able to drag Kaya onto the screen. Don't give me the 4K, May. Leave me alone.
Kaya is below the map.
Okay. 1 second.
What if I drag new Kaya? I gotta drag new Kaya.
Okay, new Kaya.
I deleted old Kaya.
Okay.
New Kaya exists.
New Kaya. Perfect. Perfect.
New Kaya, new me.
Yeah, perfect.
New
Problem
map, new
solved. Yes. So you, again, enveloped by this light that you recognize vaguely familiar to you, in terms of the feeling, and it's very reminiscent of your mother's magic. And you find yourself in an area that you've not seen before, but still you can hear above you what sounds like a fire.
Interesting. Fuck. Whose bright idea was it to set this house on fire? I'm sort of I'm transported to a new location, theoretically, right?
You
By
are...
my own understanding of it?
Yes, but you can hear fire raging above you, like above your head. You can also hear what sounds like a large creature trying to get out.
Lovely. Shit. I look around. I guess that's like what I kind of got to start with.
Okay, go ahead. At first glance, what you see is what appears to be almost a wine cellar, maybe. You see large stacks of bookcases that pretty much line the entirety of the area that you're in. It's very dark. And as you kind of move closer to the center of the room, you realize you had been kind of in the corner. As you move
That's
closer...
me in the corner.
That's me in the spotlight. Are you losing your religion?
I'm losing a lot right now. My house, my religion, my fucking family.
Yeah. as you move towards the kind of center of the room, you do see that these bookcases, these structures, all seem to house bits and pieces of different alchemical ingredients, jars, potions. There are crates that have the emblem of House Grey on them. And there are 3 doors.
That seems like a terrible idea. Let me grab random alchemical ingredients
Okay.
and just... Are there any, like, bottles of, like, unknown tinctures rather than alchemical ingredients?
Yes, there's a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna grab, like, 4 of them
Okay.
and slip those into my pack just
Mhm.
in case I might need them.
Okay. You
And-
grab 1 red, 1 yellow, like a golden glowing yellow, and 2 bright blue.
1 red, 1 yellow, 2 bright blue.
Mm-hmm. Now, what?
Okay.
Oh, was that you taking notes?
Yeah,
I
that's
just
me
got a
taking
chat
notes.
notification and I was like, Rooney?
No, that's me taking notes. Okay. Now these doors.
Mhm.
Is there any... Have I been down here before?
No, this is entirely unfamiliar to you.
Ah, that bitch. Of course she'd keep me out of it. No surprise there. I need to... Ooh. Am I able to identify where the flaming is coming from audibly? Is it directly overhead?
It is almost directly overhead, yes.
So I'm on the left side of the building. At the very least.
Mhm.
Okay. So... I would like to choose the leftmost door in hopes it's a way outside.
Okay, are you just opening it?
At this point, yeah.
Okay. All right, you open it and you are met with another storage room. This one is almost filled to the brim with those crates that have the emblem of House Grey on them.
Oh, mother, fucker. I am a little bit more panicked now. I'm going to just rush to the other doors and throw them open.
Okay, which one are you gonna do first? The one that's directly on top, or the one
Directly
to the right?
up.
Directly up. Okay. You rip that door open and you see a chamber. This chamber appears to be empty. For the most part, there is something that feels not quite right about it, though.
That screams my mom to me, doing some sus shit. I'm going in.
Okay. All right. You are.
I'd like to do an investigation.
Okay. Go for it.
That is not that impressive. A 13.
A 13. The wall is almost entirely stone. With the exception of the door that you just came through. There are what appear to be slopes on the inside of this room, almost like the room wasn't leveled before it was built. And the floor is dirt as opposed to the rock that you just came from.
Wasn't leveled. Sloped floor. Sloped floor in what direction?
It all slopes kind of towards the center of the room and then towards along the back wall.
Like it drains towards the back wall?
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Well, that sounds like it's going down. I'm trying to get out. Let's check the other door first.
Okay. You go to the other door and are met with the stench of old blood and rotted meat. As you open the door and you see what appears to be a table, an experimentation table, perhaps, covered in blood stains with leather straps that sit on either side as restraints. There's two tables along the back wall that are empty but bloodied.
And it's a pretty contained room.
It is also a room with only one door in and out.
I clinically take it in and like file it away, but I'm long past believing my mother was an innocent fucking do-gooder. And I go back into this room and head to the back wall to start investigating, since that's the only seemingly, if it's heading towards that wall, there's something up with that wall.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me perception or investigation. Your choice.
Investigation. Do I have an investigation?
Or some kind of if there's like an investigative check that you want to do, like sense magic or anything.
We are probably best off doing a what's it called check, which is a 17, just perception.
Okay. You are kind of feeling around the wall, kind of thinking along the lines of maybe there's some kind of secret door, especially as there does seem to be that kind of drainage situation. And as you are moving around the room, it feels smaller than it's supposed to feel. There's just something about it that feels very constraining.
Mm-hmm.
And you, in the back of your mind, have a memory of your mother telling you that words have power.
I sigh as I pull out the journal.
All right.
And I guess I'm gonna start kind of flipping through it, trying to find any sort of passcode or anything that like stands out to me like that.
Okay. The journal is of Marista Gray, your mother, renowned former court mage of Suresh. Her flowing, looping handwriting takes up the first page that you see, in a small, controlled strokes. Her pen was very steady as she wrote along, starting the journal off. However, as you flip through the pages, the rest is empty. Nothing seems to be torn out from the journal. And knowing your mother, she wouldn't have kept a journal here if she hadn't actually been working on filling its pages.
On just a fuck it, we ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take one of my fangs and bite into my thumb and press my blood into one of the pages.
Okay. Um,
Just on the off chance she bloodlocked this thing.
the blood seeps into the page, and the page does seem to absorb it almost in its entirety, like it's feeding off of it, but nothing appears on the blank page that you're working on. Instead, the front page starts to kind of crackle a little bit.
Mother, you never make it easy. Okay. What? Let me read the first page. What all does the first page say?
All right, the first page, and I will also send this to you in summaries and notes in our
Got it.
thing, says, "A noble house, that's what we are, what House Grey has always been. She's withstood the test of time, been stalwart in her protection of Suresh, even within its inception as a kingdom. She's eternal. I was raised with this in mind, that House Grey should not fall. House Grey cannot fall. If she falls, so does the kingdom, so does the history of mages in this God's forsaken kingdom. And now I'm not so sure it matters anymore."
uh, out loud, I say, House Grey cannot fall.
Ooh, you are good. All right, and as you say that, the stone in the room reacts. It glows for a brief second, and then slowly a door opens and reveals a tunnel.
Damn straight it does. My mother disparaging our family? Not a chance in fucking hell!
Okay.
Anyway.
This tunnel is it is deep, it is dark, and it is a little moist. Almost as if there's water somewhere in there. There's no light, and you can feel yourself descending deeper and deeper into the earth as you go. You do hit a point where there is a bend, and you cannot see around the corner.
Well, Mother? I suppose this would be a great time to be able to cast some spell, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you just love that? Oh, I'm sure you would. And I kind of just have to keep a hand to the wall and walk along.
Okay. Alright, you continue along, and at one point you feel the wall kind of give away, indicating that there's another bend in the tunnel, but you also hear water underneath your footsteps.
I can't see, right?
As a kitsune, you have some dark vision, so you can see a bit, but as this is kind of a magically cast darkness, it is difficult for you to do so.
I'm just sticking one hand to the wall, going along.
Okay. Are you going to continue straight, or are you going to follow the bend?
Hand to the right wall, I just keep going, so I guess I follow the bend.
All right, you follow the bend, and you find yourself in a large chamber. And this chamber is entirely built out of stone. There are magical kind of fairy fires that light up as you
Would
walk
you say
in,
Foxfire?
almost in, yes, Foxfire. As you walk in and you see what appears to be an altar on the back wall. Aside from that, there does not seem to be anything else in this room.
Interesting. Okay. I'll head over to the altar.
Okay. All right. Approaching the altar, you do see it is just a giant stone slab. And there is just it's kind of there is room to walk behind it between it and the rock wall or the rock face that it's in front of. But those are the only two things. There is no adornment on this altar at all.
Huh. I set the book down on the altar.
Okay.
And then flip to the next page and see if anything changes.
It is still blank.
Fucking mages. I try to I want to close my eyes and really rub at my temples and try to be like, okay. Mom's lessons. We sat through so many mind-numbing lessons in which we just didn't have the natural talent for. Surely something, possibly anything, can give me some insight. And can I do an occultism check?
Yes, you can.
Which is a... Where's my character sheet? That is a 16.
16. Okay. You remember your mother saying that sometimes the way forward may be obscured, but the simplest solution is often the correct one.
Okay, that's just angsty teen Kaya popping up for a moment. Hold on. Okay. My brain. Because all that popped into my head was just flicking off the stone tablet. But
I don't think that would work.
I think
though.
that was just angsty Kaya popping in her head for a moment, being like, simplest solution? How about fuck you, mom? I think she's gonna put her hands to the tablet and push.
Okay. It does not move.
Shit. I searched behind it.
There is nothing behind it.
I pick up my book, set it in my bag, and lay down on top of it.
Okay. When you lay down on top of it, you feel almost a warm tingling sensation along the veins inside your body.
Okay, I get back up, and then I bite my thumb again, and I press my blood to the tablet.
Okay. Like the book, the tablet seems, or the table altar thing seems to devour that bit of blood that you have offered it.
What is this? We're just devouring blood? What are we, vampires here? Come on. Vampires don't exist. That's stupid. I want to, I guess, grab a arrow and cut my palm open and slap it down on top of it.
Okay. It reacts pretty much the same way. It absorbs what you have offered it rather quickly.
Fuck this tablet. I'm searching the rest of the room. I hate this thing.
Okay.
This thing sucks.
The rest of the room, you do see that there is another little tunnel. To
Okay,
the left.
cool.
You want to go down the tunnel?
I'm going down the tunnel. I got no clue with this tablet.
Okay. Remember you have that inspiration dice. Just remember.
Okay, hold on. I need you to explain to me how inspiration dice work then.
So
Will this help me gain information, or is it just to boost a roll?
it is to boost a roll, but you can use it to gain more information depending on what roll you're boosting. So for instance, if you're boosting a perception check, what you learn at 18 is different than what you learn at 24.
Okay, you're so right. Thank you for the reminder.
It is in fact magic.
I would like to go back to the tablet of stone,
Okay.
this altar, and do an arcana check with the boosted inspiration.
Okay, go ahead. Roll the d20, add everything for the arcana check, and then roll the inspiration dice and add what you get.
Okay, that is a dirty 20. And then I don't have a d4, so I gotta do a roll
fine,
d4.
yeah.
Slash... Okay, 21.
21. Those words that you used to open this area have kind of been rolling around in your mind as, you know, words, again, as your mother used to say, words have power. The simplest solution is often the correct one when it comes to magic.
She really loves to really drive a fucking point home, doesn't she? She can't just... We get it! We already got in here with this saying. Do we really need to rehash it? I think we kind of got the point. I think, Mother, if you just accept that, like, not everybody's out to get you, that we could just have a simple, easily accessible escape tunnel, but no, you have to overcomplicate everything as usual. House Gray will never fall, couldn't fall.
Nothing.
Oh, House Gray cannot fall.
You feel kind of like a spark of something beginning to happen, but it seems like it's missing something.
House Gray should not fall.
Nothing happens.
House Gray is the bee's knees.
Nothing.
If she falls, so does the kingdom.
The handprint of blood that where you had rather placed your bloody hand on the altar begins to glow. And it shows your handprint. And then on either side, it shows your mother's handprint, your aunt's handprint, and then a few other handprints appear as well, and a portal opens on that rock face.
Okay. I suppose into the fray. And I draw an arrow, knock my bow, and step through.
Alright, and that is where we are ending this session. Look at you.
Huzzah.
Huzzah. Let's fucking go. How do you feel?
Heavy.
Heavy. Ooh.
That was a very heavy session.
Man.
So much of the weight of her family is kind of resting on her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fuck you for that.
Fuck me. Damn.
Just if she falls, so does the kingdom being the final words. That's wild. That is some heavy weight to put on this poor girl's shoulders before she steps through a portal.
Mm-hmm.
This poor girl.
This poor girl. Listen, you caught me so fast with the first one, House Grey Cannot Fall.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh shit, did I make this too easy? Did I make the solution too easy? And then you were like, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, okay, I'm safe. I'm safe.
No, I think it was just like I read that and I was like, and now I'm not so sure it matters. I was like, that's not my mom.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a chance in hell she's being like, nah, fuck it. It's like, no, she would 100% chin up, like, we cannot fall.
Mm-hmm.
So it was less like you made it too easy, and it was just felt from Kaya's perspective, this is what her mother would do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I think, if anything, says it was perfectly narrative, because it felt so perfectly in character for that to be the password.
Awesome. Yeah, no, you did incredible. I knew you were going to. And as much as you were nervous, I knew you were going to knock it out of the park, because like this is what you do. You do stories, and this is a story. But I think a lot of the things that you added in the solo session said a lot about Kaya's character, and gave a lot of hints too, I think. We'll see whether or not people picked up on them, but gave a lot of hints as to kind of who Kaya is in this.
Yes. I enjoyed touching and like not grabbing a hold, but just brushing across different aspects. It was very enjoyable. I liked it.
Yeah. Did you
And I'm
like
excited
your
to see.
werewolf cameo?
Yes. No, I absolutely did. I don't know if it was a Rougarou, but it was definitely intimidating.
Excellent. And hey, you made it through without having to do any combat. Look at you.
Yeah, that was my big thing. I was like, I could, and I posted up. I was ready to post up in front of the house and be like, I'm gonna keep that fucking thing in there and burn it inside this house. But we didn't have to. Setting it on the other creature, I'm happy with how that came out.
Yeah.
No, all in all, I'm really happy with how that one turned out.
Awesome. Any
Get to this-
last words for the people before we turn them loose on somebody else?
Well,
Oh my god.
as many of you have heard, though it has been a few sessions since you've heard it from me, for the low price of a bag of chips and a drink at your local convenience store, you too could be a subscriber to your favorite Void Witch. All it takes, you go down, you hit subscribe, or if you're already subscribed and you want to share the love, you want to help somebody else to be able to avoid the ads, so that way they can too see some of the behind the scenes stuff as we talk about things mid-session, all of that stuff. You go ahead, you hit gift a sub. All it costs is just a little bit of money to support to make sure this content train keeps rolling. As always, don't be a bottom, be a sub.
You heard it from the Hikaru Kami this time. Isn't that crazy? Anything to say to our players who are also here witnessing this and have been screaming in the Discord?
I'm excited to meet you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are gonna go ahead and raid out. Shu. Shu is apparently ready to slap somebody. I will be staying in the VC if anybody from the campaign wants to come and yell at me and or Karu. I don't know how fast Karu has to leave, so.
No, I'm chilling.
Yeah, so if you want to come yell at us, you totally can. That is totally fine. Oh, Hikaru-kun, thank you for the follow.
Oh, wow!
Double
Oh my god,
Hikaru.
welcome in, Hikaru!
Alright, I have put the raid message in chat. Thank you guys so much for being here for this solo session where we've introduced new Kaya. Crazy. I never thought I'd be doing a solo session, but I had a lot of fun planning it, and
was so
I
much
hope
fun.
you enjoyed it, Hikaru.
There's
because-
2 of us now.
Hikaruception.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go find someone to raid into. We will see you guys soon. The next time you see Kaya, she will be with the Crash Outs, so we'll have a full party again. All right, my loves. As always, keep me in your memories and have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.